I'll walk over through it. It created a view, and that created a little call-out view. One thing that's not showing up and should be, and you may sometimes see this with annotation to cycle through, is you actually have to tell it to show you the sheet and to have some of the annotation componentry coming with it. Go to the properties of that, hit edit type, and then this call out tag. We have to click on that and there's a drop down. Call out head needs to be called call out head. With sheet reference is probably the right one.
And it just automatically numbers it. Right?
Automatically numbers it, yeah, which is nice. For this matter, there are some firms that do, instead of doing the scope boxes, they actually do big detail callouts of portions of the floor plan. And that's actually how they break up their plans instead of doing the scope boxes as we did. I think the scope boxes work a little bit better because it works on multiple floors. You'll go into the other floors of the building, you'll see the scope boxes are there. So it's very easy to create dependents quickly. Okay, so we have this enlarged view. We can right click on it, then we can go to that view. Look at that, it's a nice little manageable version of just that bathroom. This is how, when you see, if you have a specialty area that you want to do a lot of work on, do this. You can change the scale of it independently. So here, let's say we're going to quarter. And wonderfully, all of our annotation scales.
Can we, when you're in a call-out view,
Yeah.
can you tell what it's, is a call-out view referencing another, it's not like a dependent view.
It's not a dependent view.
Right, so I can change the visibility settings.
You got it.
I can do whatever I want in
Yep.
this view, and it's dependent.
You got it. Great point.
Right,
Yes. It's, that's right. It's being independent. Yeah, that's exactly right. It's independent. And that's one of the hard things about those dependent views is that I've had catastrophic issues with that where people go and they start changing the scale of any one of those three views and then it changes everything. So it's very, very hard. So yeah, dependency versus being independent, that's a great distinction. And so when you make a call out, even out of a dependent view, it's making an independent view all of its own. And in this, I'm just going to call this right click, rename it something that's sensible, enlarged plan.
So what if you make changes in it, so you can make changes in other places?
It'll make changes in other places, but the view settings for this view are just
For that
for
view?
that view.
Okay. But if I add fixtures here, it's going to add fixtures to my open.
You got it. Let's actually just do that quickly.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can see how we have like floor plans, ceiling plans, 3D views under our design views?
Yep.
What if I wanted to add another tree that is enlarged plans?
Okay. Let's actually do that. That enlarged plan that we just had done, it's a ceiling plan, but we're going to say, okay, this is an enlarged view. Select that view in the project browser. Go over to that field for usage in the properties bar where we define design documentation.
We just type in whatever we want to do.
Exactly. Yeah. Which is really, so nice for on the fly. You can quickly start to gather and change view types. You can make them whatever you need them to be. The other good thing about this, about that quick ability to categorize views, is if you get into some of these bigger files and you get to so many of them, I would encourage grouping as much as you possibly can. And I think someone mentioned this yesterday, whether you're using a number to help designate, a number designator to help organize them. That's a good point.
So we technically...
Oh, one thing, there's always that roving database that's sitting under Revit. which is the beautiful thing. So it's always going to, you can always add as many types of organizational names and parameters as you like, whatever you need to do to make it easy to navigate.
I'm sorry, how did you create?
You go to your View tab and then Call Out. Oh, you're already there. View usage.
Right. I need to add that on it. Secure button.
Okay, let's say we want to do an interior elevation. Certainly makes sense. Go to your View tab, hit Elevation, and we're going to click Elevation. There should be,
Or we're still not enlarged.
yeah, I'm still in that enlarged plan. By default, it's going to, I guess, let's do an interior, why not? So it brings in this little elevation view. If you'd like to use a different symbol, that's fine. This is the one that ships with the architecture package by default. But it has the ability to do, in a room, all 4 interior elevations very quickly. You click on the box, and then there are little check boxes around it. So what happened there is, as I clicked each one of those check boxes, it actually created an interior elevation view for each portion. So I'm going to right click on one of those triangular heads. And I see here, when I go to that view, it actually is, it's a full building section, which isn't correct. We really only want it to be on level 2.
What is there a reason why it doesn't, when you're doing an elevation, it doesn't just stick to the like the level that you're on?
Yeah, it's frustrating. If you were actually in the architecture model, it reads the ceiling, it reads the floor, and it knows.
I mean, because I would think of this as more as a section than
correct.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And that's actually what you have to go back and change it to be that. So you have to actually enter that view, crop it back to what it needs to be.
Yes. Okay. Her computer is not. Her computer's okay. I'm crashing again.
Carrie's computer?
Her computer is my oldest computer.
Oh no. Okay. Revit's crashing?
It's definitely the oldest computer.
Yeah.
Well, besides Abby's.
Okay.
So
Well, you know
this
what?
is a regular computer.
Let's take that 5-minute break. We'll wait for it to catch up. Does that make sense?
No, that's fine. I was just following along, so writing everything.
Did everything make sense so far, like with the call out and the interior
At this point,
elevation?
I actually know what level.
I don't know how often you'll do these. I think they're
Or
probably
with
useful to some area designers, I would think.
So technically, this would be set up already by an architect.
Not the
Depends.
one you have, like, I'm
Depends
looking at
sometimes. But I mean, it's
journals,
certainly nice
and you're looking at.
for you all to be able to study it from this standpoint. I mean, sure, you could just go ahead and cut a section as well. But if you need to study it from this standpoint, it's not a bad idea to have them set up.
yeah.
I will just place these quickly. Let's make a new sheet, and I'll just new sheet. We'll use that 30 by 42. Up here in the elevations, if I want to make a sheet composed of all of these recent little pieces that we've done, I like to try to string these together. That's all you do. You would drag these onto the sheet. From that point, this is interesting. Look at the annotation. It's already filling in on where it resides in the set, which is very, very nice. Elevation. Look at my sheets too. They were not, they too, just like a view, need to be told what their type is. In this case, they're going to be documentation. And their names are a little strange. It's not an SK. Nice thing is that you can do double click on the sheet number, and you can change it right here. LT104. Name, or in the project browser, you can right click and rename it there. That's really the workflow, as you slowly would be getting things on the sheets and taking a look at what you would need to be working on. Just for the fun of it, here in the enlarged plan, let's place a few fixtures. Go to my Home tab, Lighting Fixture. All of these hosted fixtures will work properly. We won't have any trouble from here forward. Oh, fine, for now. As we're placing fixtures, I don't know if you're going to be playing with this on your break, make sure that you look up in the ribbon. The nice thing about the hosted fixtures is that we don't have to go in there and make reference planes or levels. And I have an update. It's information I found in the 2012 version. If you use a hosted fixture in Revit MEP and the architect deletes the ceiling, your fixtures no longer delete. So, what is nice about that? I was reading this in a README file, or in a white paper file, is that no longer do you have to worry about that. MEP engineers for the longest time were complaining that if an architect deletes a wall or something like that, their work is lost, and we too were saying that yesterday, and it doesn't. It's not the case any longer in this version. So you can feel safe using the hosted fixtures. You may want additional control of using the reference planes and the levels, especially if there's no ceiling in a project. You have to do it that way. If the ceilings are there, you can utilize those as the work plane that it works on. Okay. So in this case, make sure you just hit place on face. Work plane. Not letting you do face.
No. I have a big no symbol.
No! Come on.
No fucking sense. Also, for other folks, in terms of placing light fixtures, there's a keyboard command LF
Oh, yeah.
instead of going up to the
Which means light
stuff.
fixture?
Exactly. You got it. Self-explanatory.
So if we want to create custom keyboard shortcuts that we saw on our last WebEx call, I wonder if those are exportable. Where how do we go? We should make it universal or standard keyboard shortcuts.
Yeah. I don't know what worries me, because I know I went through something with Canada, but I feel like then things get updated and we'll see. So far, it's the stuff that you read is there. There is a lot of clicking. It just needs to happen. I mean, simple things like move, like fixture.
How come the image of the fixture that you place
Or there's some.
the pendant,
We'll see.
why
I
is the
think
suspension
more
from
if I
upside down?
What's that?
The image, I'm
There's
watching the
something
screen, the
like
image of the pendant, the suspension forms are actually upside down.
Yes. So that is one issue with the face hosting, because Revit's not, Revit MEP's not looking to actually cut a hole in the object. It's just looking for a face. It can be reversed. So, and that's one of the issues that I'm looking at right now with this particular fixture I just brought in, is that instead of, it was actually reversed, and I'll show you. Look, it came in on the floor, okay? Because it was looking for a horizontal face. And this is one thing we need to play with we're seeing the ceilings well. We need to take a look at why this is happening. But the fixture should conceivably place, and there's that documentation. Sometimes interior elevations, you don't want them on your enlarged plan, so you can right click, hide in view elements, and it hides all of those. We'll do hide in view category. We'll hide all of those interior elevations in that plan.
How come we're not able to place?
Yeah, I'm curious about that one as well. The place on face. Yeah, it's not finding the horizontal face. Finds the vertical face. We may not be looking deeply enough into the project, although this isn't very tall. We're seeing it. So let's take just a quick break. We'll see if we can play with the view range of this. Maybe see why it's not selecting that object. Sound good?
Yeah.